दिस इज डॉक्टर सजाद वानी। अभी तक हमने बात की अबाउट द फंडामेंटल राइट्स इन पार्ट 3 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। मैंने बात की राइट फ्रॉम आर्टिकल 12 अप टू आर्टिकल 32। ठीक है, मैंने बात की आर्टिकल 12 में द स्टेट की डेफिनेशन के बारे में मैंने बात की। उसके बाद आर्टिकल 13 लॉज के बारे में मैंने बात की। उसके बाद मैंने बात की फ्रॉम आर्टिकल 14 अप टू आर्टिकल 32 about different classes of fundamental rights. That's the right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. और इसके अलावा मैंने बात की about the right to property. ठीक है, right to property which was later on deleted from the list of fundamental rights. So I told you about all the fundamental rights in part 3 of the constitution. लेकिन अब मैं बात करूंगा about article 33, article 34 and article 35 की। ठीक है, तो फंडामेंटल राइट्स के साथ हमने डील किया, लेकिन मैं इसके अलावा आपको बताऊंगा कि कहाँ कहाँ पे फंडामेंटल राइट्स पे रेस्ट्रिक्शन है, किन क्लास ऑफ पीपल में फंडामेंटल राइट्स पे रेस्ट्रिक्शन है, और पार्लियामेंट के पास क्या क्या पावर्स हैं। ठीक है, अंडर आर्टिकल 33 द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया, ये आपको याद रखना है, द पार्लियामेंट दैट इज द लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ इंडिया, इट हैज़ द पावर टू रेस्ट्रिक्ट। हमारा लेजिस्लेचर जो है, इट कैन रेस्ट्रिक्ट एंड इट कैन अब्रोगेट द फंडामेंटल राइट्स, ये आपको याद रखना है। In case of the members of armed forces, in case of the members of the paramilitary forces, for the police forces, for the intelligence agencies and some other forces। ठीक है, इसमें हमारे कॉम्पिटेंट्स एंड नॉन कॉम्पिटेंट्स भी आते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल आप बात करेंगे आर्मी में हमारे जो फील्ड में होते हैं वो भी इसमें आते हैं, दैट इज़ द कॉम्पिटेंट्स। एंड नॉन कॉम्पिटेंट्स मीन्स अगर आर्मी में आपके बार्बर्स हैं, आपके कुक्स हैं, आपके बाकी वर्कर्स हैं, वो भी इसके एम्बिट में आते हैं। सो द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया इट हैज़ द पावर टू एब्रोगेट एंड रेस्ट्रिक्ट द फंडामेंटल राइट्स ऑफ द आर्म्ड फोर्सेज, आपको याद रखना है। सो हाउ विल द लेजिस्लेचर एब्रोगेट और रेस्ट्रिक्ट द पावर्स or restrict the fundamental rights of the members of armed forces? That is through laws and acts. So the parliament has the power to make laws through which it can abrogate the fundamental rights of the armed forces. So the power to make such laws by the parliament under article 33 of the constitution of India, it has been conferred to parliament only, ये आपको याद रखना है। I did not say that the state legislatures are also empowered to make such laws. So that means only the parliament of India and not the state legislatures, they have the power. That means only the parliament has the power to abrogate or restrict the fundamental rights in case of the military forces and police forces, etc., and not the state legislatures, right? So any such law made by the parliament, any law made by the parliament for the abrogation or restriction of the fundamental rights of the armed forces and the police forces, etc., it cannot be challenged in the court of law. You must remember, it cannot be challenged on the ground that it is in contravention with the fundamental rights. पहले मैंने आपको बताया that you have the fundamental rights and you enjoy the fundamental rights, and if your fundamental rights are violated, you can approach Supreme Court directly under Article 32, right? But under Article 33, it is said that if your fundamental rights are violated, if you are in the military, or if you are in police, or if you are in an intelligence agency and your fundamental rights are violated, you cannot approach court, because such laws made by the parliament, which help in the abrogation of the fundamental rights in case of military and police and intelligence agencies, they cannot be challenged in the court of law, right? Because the constitution itself provides for this. So the parliament has the power to abrogate or restrict the fundamental rights. How? By making laws or acts. The Parliament of India, it has made many laws or many acts for the restriction which restrict or abrogate the fundamental rights of the Army, Police, Air Force, Navy, etc. For example, the Army Act of 1950, the Navy Act of 1950, the Air Force Act of 1950, the Police Forces Restriction of Rights Act 1966, and many such other acts made by the parliament. And all these acts, they impose the restrictions on the freedom of the army, navy, air force, police in their freedom, जैसे freedom of speech है आपकी, right to form association. That means the army, police, navy, etc., they do not enjoy the freedom of speech. They do not enjoy the freedom to form associations or trade unions. They cannot communicate through with the press. They cannot attend the public meetings or demonstrations because they do not enjoy such fundamental rights under these laws of the parliament. So the parliament A parliamentary law enacted under Article 33, you must remember, can also exclude the court martials. You must remember. That means the court martials, they are excluded from the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court and High Courts. As I already told you, under Article 33, the Parliament is empowered to make laws which will restrict the fundamental rights, and such laws, they cannot be challenged on the ground that they are violative of the fundamental rights. And as such, when you are doing a court martial to a personnel in army or navy or air force, these court martials, they can also be excluded under these laws from the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court and High Court. So this is all about Article 33 of the Constitution of India. If you have any queries, please comment below the video on my YouTube channel. The name of the channel is Genesis Academy by Dr. Sajad Wani. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.